Con Edison sent out notices to consumers and customers that there was a work stoppage. There's no work stoppage. The bottom line is they were locked out. Were you locked out?
Yeah.
So when you lock out, basically what you do is you lock the door and don't let anyone in. So the work stoppage was caused by Con Edison itself. So we are here, legislators. I've been joined by Guillermo Linares, a member of the State Assembly, Kareem Karama, who is he's the chair of the Black, Puerto Rican, Latino Asian caucus at the state level, and the State Assembly member from Brooklyn, Letitia James, my colleague from Brooklyn, Melissa Mark Viverito, our colleague from Manhattan, and the Bronx, and we're here to speak out on this particular matter. Where do we go from here? If I had my way, I would direct the parties to go back to the table immediately and don't leave until you have a negotiated agreement. And in fact, my understanding is that utilities, local 1, 2, they are ready to go back to the table anytime because the negative impact right now is on their members and their family. Families are suffering, the members are suffering. And in fact, when they held a press conference in Raleigh last week, I spoke to several members. Several of them told me what their situation was. And in fact, their credit union are giving those with certain incomes low interest loans in order to try to survive this lockout. Every day that passes is putting a burden on the workers and putting New York City metropolitan consumers, 9 million of them, at risk. Stop playing games with the people of New York City and let's get back to the table. Let me turn to the chair of the Black, Puerto Rican, Latino Asian caucus, Kareem Karama, Assembly member from Brooklyn.
Hello, I'm Assemblyman Kareem Kamara, again representing the 43rd District, as well as chair of the Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian Legislative Caucus. I'm joined here by Assemblyman Linares. We thank you for being here, as well as Assemblyman Francisco Moya, who's not able to be here but has a representative. And we'd just like to say, although Con Edison is saying there's been no interruption in services, the people who are servicing are not the capable people, such as the people we have behind us, but management that are not equipped, that are not trained to provide the services we need to keep the system running. Those individuals are not only jeopardizing their own safety in their lives, but jeopardizing the effectiveness of the services that we need to keep the city running. Not only that, but what we're hearing is that the services that are interrupted, the blackouts and brownouts, are disproportionately in communities of color, in Black and Latino communities. People who cannot afford to have their appliances turned off, jeopardizing the lifespan of those appliances, but then the toll that has on their limited budget. So we're saying two things. First of all, we need capable people to run the system, the people that are trained to run the system. And we're also saying when you're cutting services, don't cut services in communities of color and leave the services in elite areas of our city. We're demanding that the services be maintained for all communities, including the lower income individuals who also pay their utility fees. And we're also saying that we need these people back on the job so that we can have the excellence in the services that we need, that we demand. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Stand here, I want to thank the workers, stand in solidarity with you. Joined them several times on the picket line. There was a major rally last week. And, you know, we've heard from our colleagues the significance of this, but also let's look at this from a greater context and a greater struggle about worker rights. And this is really about the 99%, right? The 1% versus the 99%, where you have a utility that is state regulated, that has posted over $1 billion in profit, where the CEO and the board continue to get a rise in terms of their compensation and their benefits package, and yet they want to whittle away at the benefits package and break the back of the union that represents the workers. That is what this is about. This is about breaking the back of the union and trying to whittle away at hard-earned benefits These are trained workers, skilled workers, and they have to be respected. And we have to understand that the struggle at Con Ed right now is a greater struggle. And that is why it is important that we stand united and we put Kevin Burke and everyone else to the mat and say you have to negotiate in good faith. I also would say it's a call out to our governor that he has to demonstrate better leadership on this issue. Now I understand that based on the hearing that is happening today, the governor has finally come out with a harder statement asking PSC to get more involved, but he needs to play a more active, visible, vocal role on this issue. It is critically important and follow the lead of prior governors in their intervention whenever there have been issues with Con Edison. So again, as a state utility that is regulated, we need to ensure that they do not try to really earn their keep and improve their keep at the expense of our workers. So thank you all for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear from Assembly Member Guillermo Linares of Northern Manhattan.
I'm here to join the workers and to say, New Yorkers are behind you.
Thank you.
And I want to say, as a member of the New York State Assembly, standing here with the president of our caucus in the state legislature, that we collectively stand firm to send a loud message to Con Edison as a private corporation that you have a sacred mandate to all New Yorkers. As someone that experienced a blackout years back in Washington Heights,
Right.
I know that we're in the middle of the summer. Demand is high, and God forbid we get another blackout. Then what is the answer going to be? So it's not just that we're compromising the safety of all New Yorkers by putting people that are not trained on the line and putting all of us at risk. But there is a bigger picture here. And I want to say that in the context, as I was said by my colleague in the City Council, Mark Viverito, there is a bigger picture here where we see union busting. We see the benefits that are entitled with our workers, with Con Ed workers, an attempt to erode them and to scale back, and everybody's watching to see how this is going to come out. But I want to say something here. If there's anything that allows us to stand as New Yorkers and as people in this country, is that we have fought for what we gain as workers. And this is what is on the line here with Con Ed workers. So we're not going to stand up to see what they have gained over the years with sacrifice get eroded. And that's why New Yorkers will continue to stand with you until you have a victory.
We've also been joined by a colleague.
My name is Reggie Davis, and I'm the National Representative for the Utility Workers Union of America. And this is Ray Sherwood. He is on our executive board at Local 1-2. What we're doing here today is we're trying to educate the public about Con Edison's practice of scheduled brownouts and voltage reductions. The situation is anytime there's a strain on the system, to maintain that strain or to maintain the system, the company will actually select certain communities and brown out the service, which means you lose power. And they do that in hopes to avoid losing the entire grid or the entire network. Now, voltage reduction is another practice that Con Edison does. What that means is instead of actually losing power, the customer service is reduced by 5 to 10%. And what people don't know, or what we plan to educate them on, is that reduction shortens the life of your appliances, your air conditioner, your dishwasher, your refrigerator. So while you are receiving less service, you are still paying the full freight for your bill, which is unfair in anybody's calculations.